Good evening and welcome to Drive at 5 on IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio station. I'm your host, Roland. We have a good show planned for you today. Don't forget to stay tuned for Warriors Talk right here after the drive on IntellectualRadio.com with my girl, Rochelle, at 6 p.m. Well, it's just me again today. And I know some people say, you know what? Yeah, I'm at it again. And I'm going to say this loud and clear. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But I do know this much. And I'm going to receive a lot of grief for saying this, but I'm just going to say it. When and again, with my rant, I'm going to go to the moon, maybe to Venus and Pluto and Neptune. And you're going to say, I don't think that makes sense, but I'm going to bring it back home. Okay? Here we go. My mom always say to me, and I know you have mothers out there, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. Especially if you're in a professional setting. I've you've been around, a lot of people want to be at the table when it comes to music, at the CEO table when it comes to all of this stuff. But however, when stuff behind the scenes, like in politics, when stuff behind the scenes, a lot of people say, I want to sit at the table. I want to eat dinner with such and such. And they treat you like you're nobody. Obama said this: when you finally get a seat at the table, you say, that's it? This guy talking like this, and he a millionaire? He's a millionaire? This so when Obama said that statement about people at the table, we all want to sit at the table. I remember people always want to sit at the grown folks table. Everybody want to sit at the grown folks table, listen to the gossip, right? Who did what, what knows whom? Everybody wanted to know, right? When you finally get there, you're like, that's it? That's all? We made so much whoop-de-doo at the grown folks table. Ain't nothing. I heard about this. I know. I know about this. I know about that. There's a reason why I'm saying this. What happened a couple of days ago regarding Donald Trump and Zelensky, the president of Ukraine? A lot of people say, and I'm hearing some of the conservatives saying, "Ooh, he was an alpha male." An alpha male. That's an alpha. That's an alpha right there. That's what Vance did, that was an alpha move. What he did was an alpha move. Man, I'm proud of my president because he's an alpha, right? And I'm going to tell you something. If he would have tried that in the hood, he would have got the shit knocked out of him. If he would have tried that at one of those African presidents, he wouldn't be sitting there. And they don't care if that's your table. You disrespect him like that. Just like somebody coming to your house or somebody else coming and you're disrespecting them. Don't think because you're at somebody else's house and they're showing you grace and they're giving you and giving you and giving you, and guess what? You don't think somebody gonna slap the taste out of you. There was plenty of times that a lot of people got out of pocket at somebody else's house. They're in somebody else's house and they like, man, come on, man. I'm just gonna leave. And that's what Zawinski should have done. He should have left right in front of those cameras. Who cares that he didn't have a suit? The suit don't make the man. The man makes the suit. Who cares? I remember one time they sat there and criticized Obama because he had a tan suit. What's the color of a suit has to do with running the free world? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Nothing. And by the way, I totally forgot one that reminded me. Um, the views that are expressed on the Drive at Five is solely the views of the Drive at Five, not IntellectualRadio.com or iHeart radio station. But if, however, if that was an African president, he would have got the taste knocked out of him, or they just would have left and made him look stupid. There are certain things that people would do to make you feel small, and they will push the envelope. Trump has a history of doing that, and he doesn't like it when he gets a taste of his medicine. Is Trump an alpha male? And I'm sick and tired of conservatives saying that he's an alpha male. He is not an alpha male at all. He would never be an alpha male. The only reason that people give him a taste of him, even talk to him, because he's a so-called player in the game. Remember, I'll say this. Remember back in the day when the Chicago Bulls, you had Michael Jordan, you had all these players, but people don't mention Will Purdue. Remember Will Purdue? He was at the table. He did good defense. Remember Brad Sellers? Remember him? Yeah, I'm going back. Remember Brad Sellers, right? They did not disrespect them. You never disrespect someone on purpose. And that was on purpose. And he would have never tried that with an African president. He would have never tried that with his so-called homie Kanye West. He would have never, and some of them wouldn't even care if they was at the White House. You disrespect them, you don't get the taste knocked out of you. You don't allow people to disrespect you. And sometimes you have to sit there and take it. And a lot of people sit there and say you got to take it. And I'm sitting there saying, if somebody called my mom out and I didn't, yeah, you it's going to be a response, but it's not going to be a response that you don't like. Every single time I see Agent Orange, I cringe. And there's a reason why I cringe, people. I cringe because I don't understand why people think he's an alpha male, and he's far from it. Yes, he's far from an alpha male. I mean, he's far from it. You take the powers away, he bleeds red just like you and I. He was scared like nobody's business of going to jail because he knows what's going to happen to him once he gets in. He knows. When you look at what's in our society, intellectual family, IntellectualRadio.com family, and you were forewarned, this man is going to either cut stamps, SNAP benefits, or he's going to make people pay taxes on SNAP. There's a buzzword going around right now at the health department with a guy that doesn't know what he's supposed to do. And he's basically saying, you cannot purchase potato chips, pop, anything equivalent to and when somebody mentioned juice, he was like, I'll get back to you on that. Or with his raspy voice, like he talks like Dionne Warwick. They're thinking about anything that's junk food or junk food related. You will not be able to purchase it on Snap, period. And it could be a blanket. Right now, as we speak, remember I had a whole fit about eggs and how much eggs are costing. Now people are saying, man, I went to Target, which I don't recommend you guys go, but I went to Target and eggs was like $6.99, $7.99, $12, $15 for some eggs. And guess what? Don't go to IHOP right now because their prices have changed. You think you're gonna get an omelet? Think again. Prices are going up, and it's going to continue to go up. Restaurants already have structured their prices to go up because of not only eggs, meat is expected to go up. Chicken is already up. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of months, but I will tell you, chicken probably won't be on the menu real soon. Church's Chicken already announced that they're going to go up on their prices. KFC is going up on your prices. And don't forget the mom and pop is already starting to go up on their prices. So when you get that Uncle Remus or that Harold's Chicken, they're not going to have that 3-piece, $3.99 for 3 pieces of wings with some fries and some soda. Oh no, they're not. No, you're looking at $6 to $7.99 for 3 pieces of chicken. And that's a shame. And what frustrates me the most, Wanda, cheese prices is going up. You can't get a decent slice of cheese anymore. So when all of this happened, people were saying saying when Kamala Harris was running against Donald Trump, they were saying my grocery prices are up. I'm paying more for groceries. Well, look at your grocery receipts now. Look at it now. Almost $100 for 2 bags of stuff. Well, he's trying. No, he's not trying. He said he will, as soon as he's president, his hands hit the Bible, the prices will go down. Are they down? The answer is no. It's not down. So now what? Do you think he's bothered with eggs going up to $12, almost $20? Look at California. Eggs are $20. $19.99. And then on top of that, there are long lines at the food pantry now. Long lines at the food pantry. They haven't covered it yet. But then here come black folks. You rather pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars on some damn Jordans than stacking it up for food. There was a long line in the malls this weekend over some Jordans. And I keep on saying this, and this is for some of the blacks. Where are your priorities? Every time people blast Michael Jordan write a check to the NAACP or something, the Urban League or something like that. No, man, your prices need to come down. I mean, I remember when back in the 90s, Timberlands, everybody was getting Timberlands. You know what I had? I'm going to tell you. I had some Timberlands on Madison. And you know what I did? It looked just like Timberlands. I put I hate to show this, but I'm going to like this. I can't even really show my boot, but I covered it. See? You can't tell the difference. You can't tell the difference. I remember back in the day, they was charging real prices for Filas. And you look closely, Wanda, it says flea. Are you kidding me? And then you get mad and upset. No. Prices are going up, and the State of the Union is tomorrow. He's going to blast everybody. It's everybody's fault but his. And people keep on saying that, hey, you know, he's an alpha. No, he's not an alpha. Let me tell you, when you go to a jungle, they said the lion is the king of the jungle. You know who's really the king of the jungle if you really look at it? The hyenas. The hyenas. The hyenas are the king of the jungle because if they catch a lion by themselves, woo-wee, guess what the lion would do? He doesn't even care if he's king. He will run the other direction. When people sit there and call somebody an alpha, be careful and know the reason why you're calling somebody an alpha, because that's not an alpha. His bark is worse than his bite. He can sit there and say, woo, 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 woo. You get by himself, he'd be like, hey, I don't want to go to jail. Please get me out. Hey, I'll make a deal. Last time I was ranting and raving, I told you guys to watch this movie called Civil War. I hope you guys got a chance to watch this movie. I hope you understand what a coup d'etat is in America. And we are on the brink of a coup d'etat in America because he's stripping away rights to people. And some of the court systems are allowing it. And then he sits there, and when a court disagrees, he said, I'm the president of the United States. I don't have to follow you. Then where are the checks and balances? There are none, according to Trump, because he's the president. Whatever he said goes. I feel sorry for not-for-profit organizations because you're not going to get money for no from no federal government anytime soon. And the money, the state money that that usually budgeted for non-for-profit organization is going to go to their budget. Right now, they have a heavy price tag fighting against this maniac. A heavy price tag. So if you're a not-for-profit organization, here's some advice. Do a telethon. I remember back in the day, the historically black colleges and universities didn't need no federal money. Guess who they depend on? Old brother Lou Rawls. Remember back in the day, we used to have Lou Rawls telethons? We didn't have to depend on no federal government. We depend on old brother Lou Rawls. We need to get back to that rhythm. A lot of people say Chicago public schools. Well, follow the Lou Rawls method. Have those telethons. Start writing the media outlets and media outlets such as 2579. They supposed to give some free airtime to not-for-profit organizations, whether it's interviews or whatever. You better start asking. You better start doing it now. There's your solution. When people sit there and say, like, Roman, you're talking and stuff like that, I come with some solutions. How historically black colleges survived? They did telethons. That's where we should be going. We don't the black community don't need the federal government if you really look at it, because we're close to a $3 trillion community. 3 trillion. And Donald Trump is not going to help black people. I keep on hearing that, oh, Donald Trump gonna help us. Oh, Donald Trump, he's going to do social justice reform. So you think freeing Kodak Black and Snoop Dogg cousin is social justice reform? How stupid can you get? You really think that's the answer? No. He's doing that so he can get blacks on their side. I'm sitting there seeing on Facebook that they're really happy about that Patel guy, head of the FBI. And I'm like, do you know what this guy is about to do? Do you understand that black people rights are in jeopardy? And I told you this on this show many times. Look at the 14th Amendment, the 25th Amendment. Those amendments are crucial to the black community. You're talking about the civil rights that black people have fought hard, so hard, even killed, so we can talk freely. We can get a decent education. We can go to the movies, go to the park. No, it's not about having Black Day or Negro Day back in the day. No, it's not about that anymore. People died for that freedom and that right. And what we do, we just basically just spat on it. I don't see no uprising when he sat there and say DEI. And you know what kills me about this? When people sit there and say that, oh, we didn't benefit for no DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yeah, we did. Affirmative action helped a lot of people. If it wasn't for affirmative action, you know, those people who retired, that black woman that was a CEO, if it wasn't for DEI, we wouldn't get in those tables like we should. We will still be struggling. Black people, my brothers and sisters, sometimes I hear other people sit there and say, I didn't benefit from DEI. Yeah, you did. Did you go to public schools? Did you go to public school? Did you go to college? That's DEI. Now they won't accept your black ass. They won't accept you. And that's sad. That's sad. Because a lot of people will sit there and don't even know the definition of diversity, equity, and inclusion. There are people that are out there right now. Why you think we're boycotting Target, Walmart, all of these stores? They receive our money, but they don't respect us. I sat there and on this show and I talked to the head person of the Illinois Black Caucus, the Black Caucus of Illinois, and he was shocked that McDonald's, that has the black owners and operators of McDonald's, And he was shocked that they just, all decades of blacks pouring into McDonald's, and you do us like that. You know, Grimace would be rolling over some damn where because of DEI. Sesame Street, DEI. If people would realize how Sesame Street was created, because there was no educational programming geared towards blacks. Right now, all of us benefited from Channel 11. Sitting there eating and talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember Schoolhouse Rock? I'm just a bill, an Illinois bill. Remember that? What I'm saying in essence is we're looking at so many people Japanese received reparations. Asian community received reparations. White community received reparation through us. They took our reparation from us and used it against us. Why do I say that? Because Andrew, was it Andrew Jackson or Johnson? I think I get those confused. But one of the most racist president known to man in history. And back in the day, if you look at it, back in the day, they were considering him like a Donald Trump. They looked at us as migrants. He said that we are less than 3/5 of a person. If you look back when Trump lost the election, he said keywords like civil war. He always used keywords, and those are buzzwords that I keep on telling people to watch out for. Remember last time I was ranting and raving, and I said there is a reason why the media is using the word purge. There is a reason why they're using this word, because it just didn't automatically appear like that. Or a producer sitting there saying, oh, purge is a good word. No, it's preparing you for something. And what scares me the most is that Donald Trump even entertained the idea like the movie, and he said it during one of his rallies. You don't believe me? Look it up. There are some friends that I am talking to right now, and they're saying, I don't, I believe in the Second Amendment. I have a child at home, but I have to protect my family. I have to get a gun. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's about to happen. And I constantly say to people, The answer is right in front of you. Just look at it. When you talk about the DEI and what he did with a stroke of a pen, people are forgetting that the civil rights movement, the civil rights of Black Americans, and don't forget that includes women, women's right to vote. That includes women are allowed, Black women are allowed to do things, certain things. When you look at DEI, it was an executive order. It was an executive order signed. And what Donald Trump did, reverse it by an executive order. Now we have to wait until somebody else get in that seat to reverse that executive order. The courts can do so much, but I was hoping that the court would teach him a lesson while they had a chance to do it. They said, oh, because he's president. There's no law to say president-elect can't go to jail. There's no law against that. But each and every time we look at it, and I'm just going to say it. Remember, people were so angry that the government, and now we can say this freely. They said, you know what? A lot of people say there's a government conspiracy against Kennedy, Dr. King. They said they released the files of Dr. King. And guess what? Nothing new. Nothing new. What you thought you was going to get a big bone out of it? Nah, nothing. This administration have basically put up the middle finger to the Black community. And we have the audacity to sit there and say, more, more, more. What Kamala Harris is going to do, that's what they would say. Well, I would say this. She wouldn't have put an executive order to reverse DEI. Oh, they're hiring. They're hiring. They're hiring. They're not hiring. If they were hiring, guess what? I you remember that people was really anticipating on the unemployment report where there's some damning statistics on that unemployment because of what Agent Orange is doing. That he allowed a rich South African to just obliterate the government system. So when you get your taxes and stuff like that, don't sit here and call the drive at 5 and say, "Oh, I need my income taxes." Well, you voted for it. Don't call the drive at 5 and sit there and say, "Hey, the WIC, I can't, the WIC." They cut it. They cut food stamps. They cut WIC. They have cut people off so much that, and and I'll just tell the game, because now is like back in the day when somebody down the street had like 3 or 4 kids, maybe 5 kids, and they get like close to $800 worth of stamps. And you go over there and you knock on the door and say, "Hey, I give you 100 if you can give me 150, worth of stamps." You remember that back in the day? What I would tell you right now, you need to save. You need to save, and it's going to be hard to save. I'm telling you something that I know. It's going to be hard. The State of the Union. I don't know what this man going to say, but I know it's BS. I know it's not the truth. I know that when it comes down to it, the Black community can have their own economy, their own thing lined up. And we did. And that was called Black Wall Street. We did. We did it ourselves. It was so impressive that the white people was sneaking in trying to buy goods. The dollar stayed in the community, and it was forced in the community. A lot of people would sit there and say, you know what? When you don't have decades and decades of a grocery store not in your community, and then you rely on the corner stores as your place to shop, that's why they don't have a problem with us, because of our resources. Our resources is so, like, wow. I have seen people get millions and millions, not for profit organization, get millions and millions and millions of dollars. Some of it is basically, I know how to stop crime. I know how to stop crime. You can't stop sugar, honey, iced tea when it comes to crime. Nobody can't stop crime, because if you can stop crime, you will be a trillionaire. No one can stop crime. You can curb it, but you cannot stop it. And I'm seeing these organizations, and their organization keeps on getting money and money and money and money. And then on top of what? For what? Are they really doing something? Are they really doing something for our community? Can you really say you're doing something for our community? Can you really sit there and say, I did this? Can you really say your organization help people? And if the answer is yes, because I know from the trenches, it's hard. It's hard to teach. It's hard. That's why I give it up to these educators, Black educators. It's hard. It's hard. It's so hard. Sometimes it's like you look at the parents and you just want to say why. It's hard. You don't know that each and every day an educator walks through that classroom door with suit and armor, being called the worst names known to man out of a child's mouth, and you can't do nothing. Some of them is like they get in your face, they spit on you. Some of them get in your face and swing on you. Some of them get in your face and slap at you. And this is how you view black educators? This is how you view black educators or educators, period. It is a shame that we have to, looking back, say we could have did this, we could have did that. We didn't even prep our people for battle. And that is a damn shame. So where I'm going with this, because I brought you over to Moon, to Venus, to planet Pluto, and all that stuff, I'm going somewhere with this. God always says, listen to my word, not to no man. And for the black people who listen to mega, you're listening to man. Man don't know nothing. God knows. And there's a place for that man that's in that White House. But I'm not going to say that. There's a place right there because what he's doing is self. He never humbled himself. Humility. You take the power away, you take the money away, and what you have an old, bitter, racist white man. That's basically calling for his mush. He wants his mashed potatoes. He barely can grin. Probably don't have no teeth. But I will tell you this much. Do you want to whip him or do you prefer God to whip him? Do you prefer a man? Because what the megas are doing, they're listening to man, not to God. And not calling them out, but that's what you're doing because they always tell you don't follow the man who teaches my word. You follow my word. And that's in the Bible. Now, I'm paraphrasing it, but it's true. I always try my best. And you have Dr. King. We just celebrated Black History Month. And what was important about Black history? And I'm going to tell you, I am going to have a special live, probably, hopefully this week, or if not the following week. But I will tell you. Remember my last rant or whatever, because I be ranting too much. And I said the following. We got to preserve our history. our history and ancestry means a lot. And I'm getting my doctorate soon as I complete my dissertation. And my dissertation is on defining Black leadership. It's so important that we define it. And you say, why does it need to be defined? Because it's part of our language, it's part of us. And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. If you don't know, I'm just going to tell you real quick. Then I'm going to close. On January 1st, 1863, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation Act. And I think I told this story once before. But the slaves, they sent the cavalry out to tell the slaves, you're free. On January 1st, 1863, Abraham Lincoln signed that document. And I found out that the state of Illinois did not recognize that day. We're the land of Lincoln. But as of February 28, 2026, I'm sorry. The host of the Drive at 5, Roman Morrow, wrote a resolution and it was adopted in Springfield and it will pass. This Thursday, we won't say Happy New Year. We will say Happy Black Diaspora Freedom Day. I want to thank Senator Lightford, Senator Lakeisha Collins, that I've talked to and showed and did the study. And it was without hesitation. They did it. It passed with flying colors. It will be adopted. And that's part of our history. And I want to thank the friend of the Drive at 5, my buddy, Carrie Steele, the champion, the first Black woman of the water wreck, who, as of last week, not only did she do the resolution, it will be forever in the records of the water department of January 1st, 1863. And we celebrated from here on out the Black Diaspora Freedom Day. You are free. And we got to recognize that we are free. And now, since Illinois is recognizing it, we also need to be cognizant of our freedom. So, I will tell you more about my resolution, and it will be law as of 2026. But also, we will be celebrating in other parts of the city and state government will recognize it as well. And I thank them. Doesn't mean I don't take the criticism back, but I thank them. So I just want to say, listen to the speech and be prepared. Don't say I won't listen to them or we're going to make it the lowest ratings as possible. You got to listen to it because I'm going to listen to it. Good job. The statistics came out. Walmart profits are falling. Target profit is falling. They need our money. They need us. We need them to reverse that decision. That's going to do it for me on the Drive at 5. Thanks to Wanda, who's at the top of the ticket today, as our executive producer. Earl behind the scenes. You guys have a wonderful week.